action! 5%! Aim higher! What do we want?
The north coast of Australia, by the Arafura Sea, there's my lovely home of Darwin in the Northern Territory.
We've had the earliest October terrible bushfires in New South Wales and an early freak cold snap in London, and the strongest recorded typhoon in our neighbouring region. There's lots of records getting broken, and these are not good records.
What do we want?
Climate action!
5%!
Aim higher!
What do we want?
Climate action!
5%!
Aim higher!
All connected, and the reason I'm involved in the Don't Crack the Turkey campaign is because of climate change. Because at a time when we have such potential in the NT to shift to renewables, to lead the country in solar, wind and other renewable technologies, at a time when the now unfunded Climate Commission is telling us that most fossil fuels need to stay in the ground if we're going to have a safe climate future, at a time when around the world people are saying we demand a safe climate future, we need an immediate shift to renewables, we need to not just lower our emissions, we need to draw carbon down. Our NT government is saying bring it on, bring on an onshore gas industry.
Will you take one with this and I might get in it?
Laraki of people have been living on this country since time began. We know this country well. We've got systems in our culture that take care of country, looking after country, loving country and respecting country, which is a little bit different from a lot of people that want to just take from the country and take and take and take, and hence that's why we have this climate change.
What do we want?
Climate action!
When do we want it?
Now!
Wonderful. Give yourselves a clap.
Oh, she's a multi-racial beauty. She's an adolescent girl. She's the jewel of Australia. She's the Arafura.
Grow local and to eat local whenever you can, but also to think about the conventional farming and to push our governments to look for more sustainable means of farming and to look at the fragile landscape we live in and all of that, because that all affects, it's not just about protecting our environment through sustainable farming, it's actually a huge impact on the amount of CO2 that goes into the atmosphere. So, eat well. Thank you.
Climate action! Aim higher! Climate action! Aim higher! Climate action! Aim higher! Climate action! Aim higher!
We know in Northern Australia that it's a very important part of the world. It's the most intact tropical savanna left in the world. It's been managed for a long time, as we know, perhaps 50,000 years. And people who are managing this landscape now, both Aboriginal people and non-Aboriginal people, have got some serious issues to deal with in the future. We've not only got the issues of climate change, rising sea levels, increasingly hot days, particularly in places like Central Australia where it's forecast to only get hotter.
Aim higher! Climate action! Aim higher! Climate action!
In the last 20 years, the sea level here has risen by at least 13.5 centimetres. That's about that much. Doesn't sound much, does it? It's still rising. And that amount makes a big difference, particularly when there's big storms come in and the big waves come in and they wash the sand away.
Aim higher! Climate action! Aim higher!
Those countries that are producing lots of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases are partly responsible for the destruction in the Philippines. And you wonder how long it'll be before countries that are affected, and it's mostly the poorer countries, will start bringing court cases into The Hague about climate change.
We're one of the top 20 polluters in the world, about 16th, so we have very high per capita pollution, and we also export enormous amounts of fossil fuels, coal and gas.
With the bright blue sea around her, lies amazing, bright and red, basking in the sunshine splendor, no duties and no pay.
The future, and we know what we want, and we don't want the big corporations, big business, telling us what we're going to do.